dark, or a dark, middle, light, or there's 6 variations of, light with a middle dark or a dark middle, middle with a light dark or a dark light, and dark with the other one. So there's 6 possibilities, and you need to have any combination will work. So you were going to do a light foreground and a middle value, middle ground, this is actually kind of a middle, and this could be the light, and this could be the dark, and that can work. But within a part of the landscape, it still has to vary. And so if you're saying, this was very light and then it was getting darker, then make this part light and keep your dark here, and it'll sit down.
Okay, what you just circled there, the reflection in the water, then you want lighter.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that was a reflection.
Yeah, see the mountain, the angle going down, and then the angle going up the other way.
Okay, it does not look like that.
Okay.
And part of the, if you had some little wavy, hashy things, for ripples, that would help make it look like but yes, you've got a reflection that's darker than your mountain, and it would be lighter. So I'd say first, get your lake without any reflection. Paint your lake in, have it be level, have it go from light to darker, which you've sort of done on this side, and I really didn't read that as a reflection. Then put your reflection in. It's going to be lighter than what it's reflecting, and it's going to have wavies in it.
Okay.
And then it will, and this should not be hard edged at all. Right there, see that?
Where are you drawing?
Okay, let me undo some stuff.
Okay, I see it now.
Right here, that is way too hard edged and straight. So if you get some waviness in here and some light coming across as ripples, and maybe even a little bit of light here for the other part of the lake, then it's going to look more like a reflection.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, and the foreground is great, and the background is great. It's really this middle part that's bothering me. The other thing is that this mountain is probably too solid, not, maybe some crags here and there. Not necessarily like that, but just a little bit less like just a swoop is going to make it look more mountain-like. And I got to get all these out. And maybe, I don't know, is there any snow? Are there crags? I don't know. But if you had more, like maybe a crag coming down here, or a snower patch, or just some more variety within that mountain, I think it would look better.
Okay, yeah. Well, the name of the mountain is Bear Hat.
So, is it really that smooth?
Yeah, it's jagged, but it's probably, I can make it a little rougher than this is, okay.
Yeah, I would make it a little rougher. I would make some maybe crevices, some lighter areas. And you've got light here, but just some variety up in here, I think, will make it look more mountain-like.
Okay.
Although, I don't know what this mountain looks like, so I don't know for sure, but it just looks a little solid to me.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
I like your clouds.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I like all this. You've gone from a lighter to a darker, so this is definitely working. So it's really the lake and the mountain.
Okay.
And then the great painting. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this one is not anywhere near complete, but it's a start.
It's so cute.
I would have chosen a different pose, but the dress was really an important feature in this one. So, and I think the background color is off because it's going to be hard to display that profile without a darker background.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard to critique at this level, but in general, you want to make sure that this part of the dark background is darker and this lighter, or vice versa. Yeah, get some variety in there. Because this is going to be really where your eye goes, I would tend to put this darker and therefore maybe lighten this part of the hair and darken over here, so that when you have a dark, this will be dark. This, when you have a lighter background, this will stand out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dress is beautifully drawn. I'm a little bit questioning this hand.
Yeah, I may have to change. That's the way it is in the photograph, but I may have to change that a little bit to make it look not so freakish.
Yeah, I mean, you're the god of your painting, so.
True.
It doesn't look, the thumb looks too short.
Yeah.
And too stubby. And these fingers either need to curl or come out further, maybe.
Yeah, I think I need a whole different hand in there. Actually, I think I'll just go with a different hand.
Okay, and check this one too, because it's not really reading right.
Yeah, no, it's if she's got her sleeve. I may have to move her sleeve, make her sleeve shorter. I may have to alter the dress.
Well, this part of the dress is gorgeous. It's just the sleeves and the hand where they come to the hand doesn't read properly. And the only other thing I see is she's kind of got a pixie ear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's actually hair that's light.
Yeah, I suspect it's hair too.
But check that ear shape, because it doesn't look right.
No, she shouldn't look like a pixie.
Yeah.
At least not just the ear.
It's going to be very cute.
Fingers crossed here.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one that Larry was working on that he finished for a client. So.
Oh. Well, if you finished it for a client, do you really want it critiqued?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's already gone. They were very pleased with it.
Oh, good. Good.
That's the egg tempera on a panel.
Oh, is it really? Very interesting. Yeah, the hand is beautifully drawn, and so is the face. I would want maybe some more of this dark elsewhere, or else lighter or something. It's pretty demanding, but that might be the style. I don't know. If some of this were in her hair to help bring me up to the face, and then I'd have this going on, which is lovely. But I mean, it's beautiful and they love it, so I don't know that you really want me to critique too much more, do you?
Yeah, I had a good time with it. The photo's not that great, but the hair has so many colors in it that are non-hair colors. And I thought that was a challenge to get that to work, to get the hair to work. And,
it's not really showing here as very many colors. It's a very, very light.
Yeah.
With
you can't really see it. I know.
I really can't. No.
Yeah, I love are those eucalyptus seeds in there or buttons?
What?
Are those
What's that?
are those eucalyptus seeds or buttons in there?
These
The round.
these
Oh,
things.
those are traditional medallions.
Oh,
In ancient iconic art. The Virgin Mary has them on her shroud over her head, but I placed them mathematically to the border. So those are little things that I put in that refer back to the frame of the piece. So
nice.
there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
But if you had a ruler and took your time, a person could identify their location to the edges and the corners.
Those I think really work. It's this one here that is taking my eye away from her.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sort of singular, very, very dark against a very, very light, and not really shown elsewhere. And so that's why I was saying if you could get some of that color in her hair or lighten this or just make this less demanding, I would think it would work better.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is a work in progress, and all the pink is my underpainting.
And so it's mostly going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm kind of thinking the fir trees along the ridge line up there. I think I'm gonna really either lighten them dramatically or take them out, because I'm wondering if it's not drawing your eye right off the top of the canvas. All that vertical going up.
Yeah, kind of is. Now you've got light foreground and dark midground, and then light background in the sky. So it seems to me that you want, so you've got light and dark. This should maybe be mid value in here, this guy. You're missing your mid values.
Okay.
And of course, this pink is really screaming, and it's hard to.
Yeah, and there's 3 white lines. There are 3 deciduous trees there that are very distinctive bark, and that was a big point of the painting, which I haven't gotten to at all.
Haven't gotten to. Okay. Well, I think first of all you want to. This here should not be the same value as this, because this up here is your mids, or your darks, one of them, So tone that down.
Okay.
Probably the blue should be maybe lighter down here and quite mid-tone up here, so that your sky is not just all one color blue.
Okay.
Get rid of some of this stuff. And then, I like all of the, is this the main one, or is it going to be here?
I'm not sure what you're pointing at.
Oh, is this tree here your center of interest, or is it going to be in here?
Well, when I started the painting, the 3 white were going to be the center of interest, but I also really loved the shadow, and so I kind of got caught up in that. So
I think you're going to have to decide.
Okay.
If this is your center of interest, because it's a beautifully done tree and an interesting shadow, I think you are going to want some hard edges, a few. because it's very soft right now everywhere.
Yeah.
And this, I love the way this is painted, but I'm just feeling that it's a bit fuzzy. You know, if that's your center, you want something sharp so that it doesn't all feel too soft.
Okay.
And this is all pretty much the same green. You would want its value to change a little bit also.
Okay.
Or change the color also. But I think these are really nice starts. And before I made a decision up here, I would definitely decide, get rid of the pink, decide if these trees are the subject. If they are, then having this one over here sort of out of focus is fine.
Okay.
But then something here, just little bits, would need to be sharp.
Sure.
Okay.
And maybe those tree trunks could have a sharp point on them.
Well, right now they are in focus.
Yeah.
So that might be fine. It's just that it's hard to look there because of the pink.
Right, yeah.
Once you have decided, say you're going to make these the center of interest, and you've got your values corrected on the rest, then take a look at it and see if you think those these trees up here are taking you off.
Okay.
The main thing that I'm seeing is, hang on, that you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So perhaps taking at least one out of here would work, or it's a little bit repetitive.
Okay.
So maybe this will go out, or have it move over and come behind here, so it's not. So the spacing is different.
Sure.
But I would find your center of interest, get your values right, and then look at it.
Okay. Good. And when I look at it now, of course it's not done, but all the very light foreground, do you think that's too much light foreground down there?
You can get away with a very light foreground as long as you have the other two values somewhere.
Okay.
And so that this is bothering me because it's the same light as this.
Okay.
But the foreground itself is not bothering me.
Okay.
I just want this to go darker in here, so that we have the recession, and I want the sky to be a different value than the foreground. It is a little bit, but yeah, I just feel like you're missing your middle values.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh, is this really very, very tall and very, very skinny?
Yes, it's 12 by 36.
Ah, okay. I was just wondering if I was having a
Joan,
Zoom problem.
Joan, is this the one you've been showing us all along?
I showed it to you a few weeks ago, and then I started doing that Marrakesh one while the layers dried. It's going to take about 3 more layers.
This looks so much better.
It's really very pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's more vibrant than this photo showed, although it's almost done. I was going to put another layer of cold wax to blend it a little better, and That's all I know, unless you have something, Kathleen, that jumps out.
Well, I think from there down, it's just fabulous. This part up here seems like it needs a little more something.
Okay.
It's a large area of not much going on. And so for some reason, and it's so bright, I keep looking up there and I want to look down in the bottom half of 2/3. And I'm just wondering little bits. I mean, this part up here is further away
Right.
than here, right?
Right. It's Multnomah Falls.
Right. But this part here is warmer, pinker, and coming forward.
Okay.
And so if you blued it a little, took a lighter value of this maybe down here, and put it in somewhere, toned it down, maybe just grade it a touch, I think it wouldn't be coming forward so much. Because right now, it really is the demanding part. It's coming forward ahead of this stuff.
Okay.
I don't need stuff, but this beautiful rendition. So, in this case, I don't think it's a value problem on the recession. I think it's a color problem.
Okay.
And so grays, blue grays, something. And then look up here and see if you want to blue gray your sky just a touch.
Okay.
I don't know that if you do, because that's not really bothering me right now. But if you tone this down a little, you may say, oh, now I have to tone down the sky. I don't know.
Okay, good. Thank you.
The foreground all the way from here down is just glorious.
All the way from above the bridge down?
Yeah, all the way down. It's very nice. And you got the green in the water so well that I would like to have some of that green, but not that vivid up in here. I mean, just a way grade version of this up here, in some places at least, I think would really help.
Good. Okay, good. I can put some, like a kind of a tree line in some of the crevices up at the very top.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But just the main problem is this purple, which is the warmest of everything, is coming forward. It's not going back. So you're almost done, but you have a little more work on it. I think you've muted yourself, Joan.
I did. There. Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have. Oh, that's better. Now, whose is this?
This one's mine.
Ah.
It's about half done, maybe. It's an oil.
Okay. Beautifully done.
Small.
Is it?
It's 11 by 14. And I just added the geometry. The piece on the left I referred to as flag, even though it's not a flag, just to give it something to a verb or a noun to talk about. And then the other one I added was a large sail that looks like a sail.
And I think they're both good. There's obviously a lot of symbolism going on. You want to tell the story?
Well, there is no story per se. It's mostly a composition as a portrait. And what I do is I utilize the topological mathematics to locate and create the image.
Okay.
And so I'm leaving the witness lines right now in the sail and on the flag as an example. From my reference, those arcs are created by certain set of points along the borders.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a reference back to the idea of having a mathematical border. And the hands are not connected to people, but are located similarly. And also, as I mentioned last week to the group, there's a painter, Italian, named Fra Angelico, and he was a monk, and he did a really amazing piece of a central figure with detached hands back in the 14th century. Mm. So that's kind of where I got going with this detached stuff a long time ago in other pieces. But I've been doing this for many years. But
well, I have 3 things that that I would like to mention. One is, I know this hand is detached, but it looks like it's his sleeve, and therefore the thumb's on the wrong side.
Which hand?
Can you see where I circled it?
Yeah. Well, that's because it's to make sure that the viewer realizes that it's not connected to the portrait as part of her body or part of herself.
It doesn't tell me that. It tells me it's wrong.
It tells you it's wrong?
Yeah, you can get away with anything fanciful as long as it doesn't strike someone as wrong. This strikes me because it really does look like that's part of the sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, this painter put the thumb on the wrong side. So I think you either, and I like it where it is, I think you just need to put the thumb on this side and we're good. I like these hands where they are, and I really like the flag and the sail and the cup. And this down here is fine. The other 2 things that are grabbing me is this is the only red. And it's not really an important part. The face is gorgeous and the hair I really like. What if instead of this being red, you picked up some of this part, that color?
Mm-hmm. That color, that burnt sienna color?
Yeah. And it would make this red less singular, and it wouldn't detract from this gorgeous, gorgeous face. That right now, that red is I just think it's too loud. Either that, or just tone it down to be more that color.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
Yeah. And the final thing is this blue is very, very loud.
Yeah, that's called a hydrangea blue, and I used a 3-dimensional impasto on it to make it even more pronounced. So I'm hoping that the solidity of that with the cup, because the cup is 3D, it's a gilded over a thick size. So those 2 have surface and texture properties that the rest of the painting doesn't. So I was hoping in my experiment to have not just one item be 3D, but actually have that thick paint. If you have any ideas, I might be able to use some of that impasto in other locations to augment it.
Yeah, I would say either make that less obvious, but you don't want to do that, so then put it somewhere else too.
Put it somewhere else too, okay.
So what if it was over here, a little over?
Right.
Or something to relate it to this gorgeous face, because right now I'm looking at the face, I'm looking at the the bright blue, and you've got two main subjects that are bouncing me around. So if you put another one similar but different shape, but put it maybe one right here and a little bit right here or something, I don't know, but
Okay.
make it not so singular.
Okay.
Because the blue of the sleeve is close to this blue, but there's really nothing that's close to this vivid blue.
Mm-hmm.
And the gold of the cup is close to the gold or the yellow of the dress, and so that's working. But I think you need more of this real vivid blue other places.
Okay, sure. I'll do that.
And I don't know, you could play with cut out pieces of paper on your placement. For all I know, you're going to like it up here. I don't know, but other places.
All right.
Okay. That's pretty much what I have. It's very nice. I really think you should put the thumb on the other side.
I'll think about it. I don't want the observer to get confused that could be her hand.
It definitely looks.
I definitely want it to be someone else's hand.
Could you orient the hand so that it looks like it's sitting on her shoulder, somebody behind her?
Mm-hmm.
Because I get the same thing as Kathleen. To me, it looks like her arm is shortened.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's probably the geometry below the hand that's throwing it off, making it look like an open sleeve or something.
It does look like it, yeah. The other possibility is to move it so that there's space between her shoulder and that circle, the oval.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
right now, if you're looking at it, the dress is definitely going right up into that arm. I mean, making it look like it's an open sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'll work on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is this yours again?
Yes.
Okay.
The line above the hat is actually a string. It's just a marker for what I'll add next.
Okay.
So that line won't be there.
Okay.
But some other floating geometry will.
I find this interesting. Again, when you're drawing things that people know what they look like, you can't be wrong. This finger could not bend like that, I don't believe. And so here's, your thumb and your pointer or index, and that little finger is broken. It's going the wrong way. And I just, you obviously know how to do hands beautifully. I would fix that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, these two come from a different hand. I just don't, I couldn't put my hand that way. So check that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if you're going to have this really deep red, well, you sort of have it here. But maybe if this is that vivid, like the hat, that should be as vivid of a red. Just echo yourself a little.
Okay.
but I like the, I like your whimsy, and you do gorgeous people and mostly good hands. Just check that one.
Okay.
And then I'm assuming you're putting something up in the top half, and it'll get more interesting.
Yeah, there are some things going up in there in the
Okay.
near term.
Yeah.
I talk about this as the construction as a boat, just to give it a word, the geometry a word. But then the ellipse at the bottom is kind of like a rudder or a keel. But I tried connecting it to the boat, but it didn't work. It looks too funky to physically have the two images connect.
Are you talking about this here?
The ellipse at the bottom.
Oh,
yeah.
This here?
So right now it's on its own.
Uh-huh.
And I think it'll work so long as I have broken the edge and keep the colors similar to the background. If I make it more solid, it probably won't belong to the piece.
Yeah. It's a little bit close. It's almost an awkward tangent, but because, like you said, because it's the same color and whatnot, it's not really bothering me. But if you did make it more solid, I would say, ooh, you got a tangent there.
Yeah.
And the solution would be possibly just to make this line a little thinner.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a little bit more space, but it's okay the way it is. It's not. This line is more confusing me than the other one. I don't know where that's going. Or is it just there? Could it continue on down behind? I don't know. That one I don't get.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, it'd be good to see it again when we're done.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
The next step is to add a veil in front of the face. It'll come from the hat down and across the face.
Okay. I would suggest that you get all the shapes in that you're wanting to, if you're intending a shape over here, I would put it in before I did the veil, just because then you're going to have more of a feel for what the whole picture is going to be.
What the internal visual communication is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
That's only about a third done. I just started. So it might not be much to critique.
Well, I always like your backgrounds. They're very nice. And that's the dark. This in here could stay light if you made this a little bit more middle value. Get a little more variety in your colors, values of the foreground, because otherwise you've got a truly half painting. You've got half really dark and half really light. But I think this is going to work if you keep this middle in here, either a middle value or a very light value, and the opposite here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was going to work on the foreground some more, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. As far as the truck, I'm confused here. It looks like a comet came down and sunk that in. Is that part supposed to be indented?
Yeah.
So it got squished.
Yeah, it's the grill part is kind of rounded out a little bit, and so that part that you have marked there is indented. That's
Okay.
the way the photo reads anyway.
Then I think you need to darken in here a little. Continue that dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Right now, it's like, well, what's going on? This is all the same value, and yet it looks like this truck was squished.
Yeah.
Okay, so use your values to help us read better.
Yeah.
And this, is that this? And it's just not finished?
Yeah, yeah, they're just roughed in. But
okay.
I think one of them is bent because it's not even.
Yeah, explain in values and or color change what you're trying to say up in here, because it's not clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I just think it might be a little early to critique it because I've just barely started it. So
yeah. Well, those are just things to work on, and then the other thing is explain in paint what on earth that is. Is that a door?
Yeah, that's a door that's falling off. Yeah.
Okay. Well, those are just areas to work on.
Yeah, I know that. I know that looks really weird. I was trying to figure out how I can make that look like a door that's falling off because that's what it is.
Well, maybe if you connected it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, and did it through a tilt, and that's not what your picture shows, but you're the god of your canvas.
Right.
I'm just saying the parts that confuse me.
Yeah.
And what confuses me is why is there a big gap there?
Yeah.
And a regular gap.
Yeah, it would look better if it actually looked attached.
Yeah, I think so. And then think shadows.
Oh yeah, gotta have a lot of shadows. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't started the shadows much.
Yeah.
I got a couple of shadows, but I need a lot of shadows.
Because it'd be nice if a shadow went off one side or the other to connect this truck to the side.
Okay. Yeah, because the sun was coming straight down from top, so yeah.
Then think of something. I mean, there might be a tree off on the left that is casting a shadow or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Because otherwise, this is going to be, what story are you telling? It's going to be an incomplete feeling if it doesn't connect to the side somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you'll have this, a straight line here. Oops. And a straight here. Oops, my straight lines aren't very straight, but you know what I'm saying is, you need to have some more connections to the sides.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Okay. Renee, who told you to have a cup of water?
How's my watch? I'm sorry for all the messages. I should have thought about that ahead, but I didn't. Come on, Tilt. There we go.
Oh my, very nice.
That's my Christmas card.
I figured. So, I love how most of them are done. This guy's shoulder looks wrong. And it's sort of, maybe it should be sloping down or a little or something. That's so square that it really does kind of.
It's funny about his shoulder because I did have it sloping down and he looked like a cripple or something. So then I think I overcompensated maybe.
Maybe so. The other thing is the hips are halfway. And so from the hip to the top of the head. Well, I'm just saying, and again, doesn't really unless you're painting someone specific, rules of proportion hold. And hip to the top of the head is the same distance as hip to the bottom of the feet, and so his legs are too short.
Yeah, well, I know they are, but that's exactly how he's built.
Oh, okay. And then his feet are too short.
Yeah, I was looking at his feet. I think you're right.
His feet are pretty much the same size as a head, as a face. So.
Yeah. Actually the feet were bigger before I put all that snow around there. I think I must have cut it off. I think I need to make his feet bigger again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, somebody who's hefty like this is really going to have thicker legs. That, he's got a belly.
He's really hefty. He's really hefty.
Well, this right here is drawing me a really skinny leg.
Yeah.
So make him, if you want to make him oddly short, that's fine, but at least make him uniformly hefty. Because right now this bottom part does not look right.
Yeah. Okay.
The rest of them look great. The other thing that I might do is your trees are very uniform width. Maybe this one could be joined and make it a bigger tree as one instead of two.
Oh, okay.
Because it looks a little bit just stripy otherwise.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I love the way you did the lamp with the glow and the other people. I wonder what the problem is. His head's too big. Could that be it? So if you look, he's not that far away from this person, and look at how much bigger his head is.
Yeah. Well, they are. Yeah. They do kind of go away. I mean, they're not in a straight line. They're canted off.
Yeah, I realize, but he just looked like
he looks out of proportion. He does.
Looks out of proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way to solve it might be to make his head and his top hat smaller. I don't know. Check on it, but there's something very out of proportion with him.
Okay. I'll work on him.
Okay. It's a very lovely piece. Yeah.
Oh, Frida. I've been experimenting with fabric paint, and I want to put this on the back of a jacket when I'm finished.
Is this Frida Kahlo?
It's Frida.
You got her. Very cool.
So she's close to being finished. There's still a little problem with the left eye. It was a little higher than the right eye when I did my sketch.
This one here? Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the right. Well, the other left eye. that one's yeah.
Is she? See, this one looks better to me. This one looks better. This one looks Oriental.
Okay.
And she's not Oriental, is she?
No. I guess I could change the right eye. That would be easier. I mean, yeah, the left eye, whatever. I could change the other eye. That would be easier.
I think if this came down right there, that it wouldn't look funny. But right now, you've got the skin flap coming way down here, and on this one, it doesn't come down as far.
Yeah.
So you have one eye that looks very Oriental to me and one that doesn't at all.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that's a good idea.
So yeah, I think it's the other left.
It's the other left. Okay. I'll fix it.
Okay. I love the way you did the hair and the roses.
It's kind of a fun process. I'm sure that I need to experiment more.
Yeah. Right here, instead of it looks like her forehead's growing into her hair.
Yeah.
What if you had a few wisps of the dark coming into the forehead?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because that does look a little bit funny.
It
right
does.
Here too.
It does.
Looks like forehead growing into the hair instead of the other way.
Yeah, don't want that.
Okay. And I would like to see this highlight part softened, at least on one side.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty square, rectangular.
Yeah.
And hard-edged.
I see that.
But the fact that you got, I mean, I saw it and knew who it was is amazing.
Lucky.
No. It's very cool.
I
don't understand what this is.
What is?
The plate-like thing?
Oh, that is, I had it on a stretcher bar, so that's just the fabric is stretched.
Oh, okay.
Once I press that, that'll go away. So.
Oh, good. Okay.
I was in San
Francisco.
Oh, go ahead. Not important.
No, go ahead.
I was in San Francisco, and a woman came in with this image on the back of her jeans jacket, and I just fell in love with it, and I decided I had to have one, and the only way to do that was to do it myself. So.
And you seem to have some time all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, miraculously, there's time.
So the only other thing I have to say on this one, wait, where'd it go?
It's back, sorry.
Look at her ears.
Yeah.
Very, very different style of ear. Yep. This one is painted where you see the top and the indent. And this one, it is not giving us that. And you don't have to have them exactly the same, but maybe one or the other, maybe they should be a little closer to the same.
Yeah,
kind.
I agree. Yeah, I see what you mean. Fix the ears.
Fix the ears. Fix the eyes. But it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I love the way you did the roses.
Oh, thank you. I like the roses too.
Yeah. Okay.